Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Tuesday, April 12th. So I want to pick up where we left off yesterday, just so we're kind of starting in the right place. So we were looking at this as wave 3 and then this is wave 4 here, but we ended up getting this 5 wave structure coming to the downside. So the only way we can remain bullish at this point is by labeling this wave 1 and wave 2 here, and then wave 1 up here. And because we've got 5 waves here, we need to label it wave A and then B and then C at this point, because even if we had it as wave 4 here, it's starting to overlap wave 1 here, which is not the end of the world, but it is one box that's being ticked in that regard, you know. And the other thing too is that if we do take it from here and look at this as wave 1 to the upside here, then our 50-60% retracement level is down here for this. I have to say the NASDAQ is already down at the 61.8%. So if this is going to be bullish, there's probably a little bit more to go here for this. We'll have a closer look at this, but basically, in a nutshell, if we were going to be bullish, we would be looking at this as the A wave, the B wave here in 3 waves, pulling back up 50-60%, you know, and then wave C down here, and then moving up from that point. Okay, so that's the only way that the market could be bullish at this point. Could you get a wave 4 out of this here? Possibly. Also, this short trade that we've got on here at the moment, it's just good to just to get rid of that at the moment. Okay, so just exit that if you're in there short. There's probably a little bit more to the downside to come here yet, but start expecting a bounce off the 4-4 at least. That would be a nice target. But anyway, besides that, this is the only way that the market could be bullish at this point. So we have been looking at the market in terms of bearish counts as well, as you know. So I think it was on this one we've been sort of looking at it here on this in this regard, because basically because of banks, and then we're starting to see stocks all starting to confirm that particular move. So I'm thinking that we're going to get a move down into the 3.8 sort of area now for this. So that means we need to set up on the short side. Don't think that you're missing anything at the moment, because you're not. But what it is doing for us is confirming that 5 waves down, not only in the S&P, but in the NASDAQ, but also in stocks, which I find to be more important as well. And the banks are, you know, being kind of the leaders in that space, I guess. And now the other stocks and tech stocks are sort of following that. So this move down here is going to finish shortly and bounce back. I think I may have adjusted another way to look at it as well. So one thing I don't know, right? This is one thing. So we could get we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here and have that 5 waves down for wave C, or we could actually get a different pattern down here where we have 5 waves. We'll just try to draw this in here. 3. Have 5 waves in here, and then we get 3 waves over here for this, and then another 5 coming down at this point. Something of that nature. So this would be, so here I've got it as an A and a B and a C wave with 5 waves down, but this one over here would be a WXY, where I've got that on the 3-day chart over here for this. Oh no, I don't have it here. I thought I did. I should have it. Just got that wrong. That's all. That would need to go up there. I need to just move these guys out. Sorry about that. I need to, come on. I need to look at this as an A and a B and a C wave here for this. I'll need to move that down to here, and then that move that I just mentioned then would be in 3 waves. So we would look for an A wave here. Oh bloody Nora. down here. This will be down here much further. We need still need 5 waves in that move there. So that's how this would play out. So this is, we've got those 2 counts I need to decide between. So what we need to do now is we need to set up for the short position in all of this, and I think we can do that in this one. So this B up here, that could be X at that point too. We just not sure, got to give that some thought. It doesn't really matter at this point though, but either way. So we're either going to get the bullish count, which is the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave down here. So what we can do is look for the short trade. So there's probably a little bit more to go in this. There's probably another thing like this here for this, but I wouldn't go chasing it too much. What we're looking for is this move here. This is the one we need to short. I'll just put that in there and we'll look at it a bit later, but that's like supply level there, retesting this 5 here. So I have to point out the weaknesses in both sides and the cons and the pros, is that this wave 4 here overlaps wave 1 here. So that's a bit of an issue. Okay, so that kind of destroys the 5 wave structure in a sense, you know. Just tidy it up a little bit. But besides that, I'm sort of okay with it. But like I said, if this is going to be a wave 4 here in some way, and we've got some A, B, and C here, but it has overlapped wave 1 over here, it still doesn't matter, because what we'll do when this pushes up here, all we need to do in the first instance is short under the B wave here. That's what we'll be looking at. So we don't really need to do anything today or tomorrow. You know, we can start talking, start refining our setup here and how we can short it from a higher space over here safely, you know. Sometimes the B wave this B wave here could be higher over here as well. So just need to see how it goes at this point. But it should be a 5-3-5 structure here for this wave 2, which would be all of this here is in line with stock, so that's why I'm okay, reasonably comfortable in looking at it as wave 1 and 2. But even at the same time, we've all fooled ourselves before in this game, so we need to do all the right things at the right time. So as it stands at the moment, this B wave as a short trade is what we're going to be looking at as the safe trade, and then we'll look at some higher risk entries further up here. But we don't need to worry about it today. We need this to finish off in this space. If you want to count 5 waves down there, that's a good task, and then once that's completed, then we can look to the upside. Okay, so that's where we're at, and it's probably a good idea, even if you don't trade stock, to have a look at the stock video, because you start to see, the first one that we had down was yesterday, was over the last couple of sessions, was Facebook Meta, and then we had looking at Tesla having 5 waves down. That was also in the same sort of category in a way. And then the Apples and Microsofts came in today and give us that sort of 5 waves down. So that's the way we're going to be traveling. So we should have fantastic short positions in this side over here, so that we can, it's about making money. I mean, we like to see things bullish, but if there's a bear in the air, we need to run faster than the bear. Okay, so this is the theme really, 5 waves down and 3 waves back. So it's going to turn everything else a bit bearish as well. So the NASDAQ's a little bit different really, because we've had this low here and we can count 5 waves up here. So this is our bullish count, and in this instance this first leg down here, it's got 5 waves in it, right? But it's already at our, into the box here, which is probably shouldn't really do that at this point. But let's just tidy this up a little bit. So what we're going to see here is we're going to see this finish off down into here. But like I said, it's already at the 61.8%. So if it moves back up here for the short trade, then it's, I suppose we'll give it a bit of space. We could bring it down a little bit further down to the 78.6 as a wave 2. So we need to kind of track it a little bit as well. But at the same time, we're also going to be looking to short it through that space there, because this all could be down for 1 and back for 2 here. So on the bearish side for this, and it will flick back, because we can see on the daily chart here that this has moved down here, so it's going to come back. So day traders can, intraday traders can trade that up, but otherwise we'll be looking at, I think it's this one here. So this is, I think we looked at this yesterday too, didn't we? Maybe, I think we did. So yeah, so instead of using this, so we use this low here as the A, the B and the C wave here, and then we come down. In this case, we'll be looking at, I've got it as an A and a B and a C, but it can also be a WXY as well. So we just need to be a bit mindful of that. So we'll see wave 3, 4 and 5 here, which can just be, if that's a WXY, then we'll see another move up to here and then another move down here. So this is what we need to kind of sort out, if that's the case or not. I just need to give that a bit of, that's what I'll be working on, So I'm just going to put this here as that's just really for me to think about things a little bit. So, but let's focus on this. We want to catch that leg down there. I mean, if it's going to be a C wave as an A and a B and a C, we still trade the C wave down anyway, and we'll just see how, what it looks like. We'll know the personality of that structure. So I'm just going to the intraday here. I'm not sure where I've got all of this. So, okay, so let's get it a bit more. Okay, I need to sort of work on this a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to put wave 1 to the side a bit. We're going to put this wave C here, which will be either the bigger B wave or the X. It doesn't matter at this point. And also too, that this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, they will need to be in blue at minimum here. So it doesn't matter for today. It's just that we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 coming down here, and this will be 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, we're not far off here. So probably the 3.8 is the, I mean, obviously 14,000 is a big number, but the one under it, the 13.8, is probably also good as well. We'll just bring this 14 down. So we know that it's, we know the daily stochastics wants to push it up. We can look at this top, and I'll put it on the 14,000, but we'll probably end up down a bit lower for that. Yeah, I'll put it there. So that's going to be our 50-60% retracement level area. But I can also say that it's kind of important, but what's really important is this block here of supply. That's what it is at that point. So we can look at the balance point within that. So we can look at it from this high to this low here, and we can just look at that 50% area there. So that's what we normally do, and we can clear this out of the way. And then what we do is we gravitate to the closest largest number. So 5 is the second strongest number. So 500 is kind of what we're looking at. So we'll probably see this come up as the A, the B and the C wave to the 500 thereabouts. Okay, that's kind of how I'd see it. But we can look to short this by putting a line through there. We can short it through there, We could turn this box green because we've got 5 waves here. We've got that on our side, so we could also put that there. So we really just want to build in. Now that's the safe trade here. That's the safest, shorting the wave B. This would be reasonably safe at this point. But we need, when we're talking about angles here, we're talking about, when we talk about angles, I just need to go over this. It's the same, it's basically the same pattern as this here. So this is a classic trading levels pattern on the short side, but in this case it's a horizontal line. So we come down, we have the arrival, the reaction, the first low below the level, that's our reference point to short, and then we can come back up to the line here. We can just come straight down from that point, but most of the time it goes back above the level, so we'll just call that the 500 at this point. And yeah, and then we can work it again down from this point, but it'll be the same on an angle here. So we come down, we have the arrival, the reaction, the first low below the level, and then the retest here, and then we look to short it at this point here. So we could do, that's the safe trade. You can short it anywhere in here. You could short it on the rebound here, if you saw that in 3 waves, for instance. And with not only those 3 waves here, you short the B wave under that. But if that moves up on lower volume than the move down, then you also know it's corrective, because corrections are on lower volume. So this whole correction here should be on lower volume than this move down here. You might need to go to the 2-day chart to capture that point to this point to just make it a bit easier, or 3-day or a week or whatever. It was kind of a lot of days here, so it can go to a weekly at least. Yeah, but that's, yeah, so there's many roads to Rome, but this is what we'll be focusing on here. We don't want to be chasing this down. We're just going to get sort of burnt on that level. And even if it is an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here, at least we'll try to get our trades to break even at that point. And also it's not easy as well, because when we come down from this point here, you also need to understand that we're going to have probably, looking at the length of these structures here, we'll also probably be looking at 3, 4, 5 here, hitting the old low here, wherever that may be, and then having an ABC here again before coming down again. So you've got to kind of get this one here. So you think to yourself, well, okay, I'll short this here, I'll short this I'll short this box as well. I'll short that in there as well, so I can kind of work all this a little bit. So if I'm going to short up here, then yeah, maybe I need to short in there as well. Maybe I should short on the second. Maybe there's an ABC pattern in here that I could short and move into this point. And I won't short down here. I'll wait for this rally. So I'll try to come in across all the tops, So it takes a bit of thought to actually, especially because most of us are trading leverage, it takes a little bit of, a bit of thought to get to A to B, All I can say to you is less is more or less. So, yeah, anyway, that's what we're looking with the NASDAQ. This is the triple Q here. So we can look at the move up here as wave 1, as we've been doing, or wave C as the top there. And we've moved below this low here now. So as an ABC, as a wave 4, we could have looked at that. But now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. It's pretty clear. And it looks like there's another little move in here for that. That looks like all of the 3rd wave. Oh no, that could be the 4th wave there. Anyway, we've got maybe another little low to come in here, and then we'll be on our little ABC pattern. So if it's a wave C, it's going to be on less of an angle than wave A here. So that's the angle there. So if it's a wave C, it will normally be on the same angle or less. If it's going to be the 3rd wave down, well, then it's going to be a bit more like that. So you can see by the personality, the degree of structure here, that how, the speed of the market really is going to tell you what you've got at that point. So this also means the same for the Dow Jones as well here. So we were looking, and the same with the Russell, we're looking at 1 and 2 to the upside. We've got 5 waves here with this. Yeah, so we have to look at it as a, see this move here as an ABC is still intact. It hasn't been breached here just yet. But the thing is I can see here that we've only got 3 waves up here, so it's going to be in the same boat. But it's holding up rather well actually, so I have to give it credit for that. So it's probably going to follow. We probably need to I probably need to relook at this, and probably got a mistake in here somewhere. I don't know if the mistake is here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, then the ABC pattern here. It doesn't matter. What will happen here is that it'll come down into this low here, and then it will have its little bounce back up at that point. So we'll take a closer look at that tomorrow. But it's holding up quite well. The Russell, okay, so the Russell now is looking at 5 waves down as well. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 here. So we're looking at this as an ABC pattern here, but now it's got 4 and 5. So it's also looking at the bearish side. So this is the low over here. So we'd been looking at it as wave 1, 2, and then 1 and 2 again, or 3 and 4 over here. But yeah, it's, you know, I mean, it's just got the bearish pattern about it now, you know. So here we can look at, it's at the 61.8%. It's going through that. It's going to stick to this number here, but we'd have to look at this now as an A wave here, an A, B, C here for the B wave and the C wave, which we have been looking at it this way as well. We've been looking at it as a bullish move, but also as a bearish move as well. But we haven't looked at the bearish move. I don't think we even looked at it last week. It was the week before, because the S&P was holding up quite nicely, but that's not the case now. So my inkling about the banks being on the weak side is sort of starting to sort of, you know, shine on through, and these other markets are, you know, starting to overlap a little bit as well. So it's hard to call this wave 1 up here now and back for wave 2, you know. So we need to look at it as 5 waves down, and when it finishes here over the next session or two, we'll be looking for an ABC pattern here, and then further down. So we'll need to work out the short positions over this side. Anyway, no sort of rush here on this. Yeah, and that's it really. I'll leave it at that. I think I did have this on the 100 ticks or something, didn't we? Or was that 5 ticks? I'll just have a look. I don't know what I update, what I don't. Okay, yeah, well this plays it out a bit easier here. So I'm pretty happy with this 1 and 2 here, and down for 3, 4, 5. I'm happy with the 3rd wave, and it's nice and long, isn't it? The 5th wave's a little bit short here for this. It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here to finish off, but it might extend down a little bit further. I don't know, but it doesn't kind of matter either, because we basically need this. We need this over this side, you know. So don't need to do anything at this point with this, but yeah, we'll be looking for that ABC correction. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Like I said, just to recap, there's not a lot to do. We need this side over here to present itself, and that will be part of our setup to the downside, whichever way we decide to, or you decide to view these things. But yeah, I think having a look at the stock video will be good, and then I'll have a look at the stocks tomorrow as well, because they're creating this, and the banks have kind of been the leaders in this situation as well, because they've had the first 5 waves down, and they're already finished their A wave here, so they're into their B wave, and so they're going to be also leading down. So yeah, anyway, there's leaders and there's followers, isn't there, in stocks. So okay, cheers.